Now, away from that, President Akufo-Addo has assured Nigerian traders of their safety and protection in Ghana as the two countries set in motion processes to address the retail trade impasse. Ghana Investment Promotion Law 865 lays out activities foreigners are barred from investing or participating in. But enforcement of that law continues to be a mirage. Now, Nigerians undertaking retail business against our laws have had their shops locked up. Now, at a meeting between the Nigerian delegation led by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Olufemi Gbajabiamila, they wanted Ghana to amend our laws.
To make sure that this relationship remains the relationship it used to be and still is, that we must do. Nigeria, Africa, you cannot talk about Africa without talking about Nigeria, neither can you talk about Africa without talking about Ghana. And it's that strength, that combination of strength that we seek to protect, not just for today, but for tomorrow and for the future moving forward. We've appealed to Parliament that if it's possible at all, and it's an appeal, if it's possible at all, to please look again at the issues as far as the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act is concerned, that they should please do so. If it is not possible, then let us look at ways where the pain can be a little bit reduced, or the difficulties in meeting those expectations as espoused in the law can be reduced. And we've proffered suggestions which we are working on, one of which he did mention was the establishment of a Ghana-Nigeria Business Council backed by legislation on both sides. And that affords, we think, us to have something coded or a statute form to guide our relationship in terms of business.
Now, President Akufo-Addo assured the proposals will be considered in the best interest of Ghana and ECOWAS. He also said Ghana will ensure the protection of Nigerians in the country. But speaking on the AM show, Clement Boateng of the Ghana Union of Traders Association cautioned government against attempting to amend the local trade laws to appease their Nigerian counterparts.
We don't have any problem about that. But what we want the authorities to understand, that since GUTA is a major stakeholder in this industry, whatever process, that will be taken, leading to the formation of this business council, GUTA must be involved because we are a major stakeholder. Our input, must be known to them for them to address it and then see that at the end of the day, we will not be at a disadvantage. And regarding, the proposal that they have put with the amendment of the GIPC Act, we want to sound a clear warning to the authorities that we shouldn't wake up one day for us to hear that that law has been amended in favor of the Nigerians. When that happens, we are not going to take it kindly.
You mean the GIPC Act?
The GIPC Act, yes.
You don't want it amended?
Amended in what way? Amended in what way? Because when this law was promulgated in 1994, in 2013, there was a review. GUTA was a major stakeholder in that review. We had to spend 3 days at Forester Hotel in Dodowa before that review came. We were a major stakeholder in contributing to the review of that law in 2013. So if the Nigerians have asked our authorities to see to the amendment of the section of that law, we want to tell them that they shouldn't amend any law in our isolation. We should be called to a stakeholder engagement, take our inputs. If we think the direction that they are going is in favor for us, fine. But if we think it is not in favor for us, then we will raise red flags.
Well, economists with the University of Ghana Business School advised the two countries to resolve their differences with the concerns of their citizens in mind.
Nigerians are in an environment and they are coming in with products that Ghanaians are not possibly capable of bringing into our environment. Then obviously, they come to build up, one side of the economy which is more or less weak. And in the end, we'll have a fruitful relationship, as far as our, trading environment is concerned. But a situation where they are in here and they are also importing exactly the same product that Ghanaians, are also importing, then we're going to have a problem. So before, we allow them to trade on the market, we could have, indicated the kind of products they can trade on our market, okay? And you should understand the market in Ghana is in such a way that, product goes through different hands before it even gets to the consumer. By the time you realize going on the ground, you could see that the Nigerians are having even Ghanaians who are fronting for them in a way. So, before we go into such, agreement, we should be able to be detailed enough. You can have that agreement that will say that, okay, fine, we have a treaty with Nigeria like the current intercontinental free trade agreement that we've had across Africa. But then there were no specificities.
Well, joining the show now is Isaac Hubert Arthur. He's Executive Director for the African Center for International Trade and Development. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. So we've heard from Guta. They say they do not want any consideration of amendment of the GIPC law. We just heard also from the economist of the University of Ghana. He thinks that maybe, probably determining what kind of goods or services Nigerians can engage themselves in can also, help the issue. What's your take on this?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers. What we must understand is that, sometimes when you have situations like this, happen in a country, we forget about a whole lot. I understand the interest from the local constituents, how, local businesses feel, and all of that. But one thing we have to understand is, as a country, we do not exist in isolation. Ghana has signed up to a number of, treaties and trade laws, and we must make sure that we are very much compliant to most of these agreements. One of them is the WTO law, which has a special clause known the MFN, the Most Favored Nation clause, which is simply about non-discrimination of all member countries that have signed on to the WTO. So there's also a subsection that talks about national treatment. You can't just stand up and then treat goods or products from your businesses, different from that of another country. There's a special arrangements that have been put in place for that. So I understand from economic perspectives, I understand from political economies side of it, where of course the local businesses will want to push for their own interest and all of that. But as we take these steps, I think we need to be mindful of, the multilateral trade agreements, even the continental, free trade area, which we are, waiting to operationalize come January 2021. So, just to say that, but looking at, for me, I think it's a wonderful thing that is happening in terms of looking at what the Speaker of Parliament, from from Nigeria, House of Representatives, coming to Ghana to meet with the Ghanaian counterparts to have this conversation. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's a way to use political means to resolve the issue that is at stake. It's long overdue. Unfortunately, we have to wait till now to have this conversation between the two political, governments. But it's a great step in the right direction. So, and what for me, it shouldn't just be a meeting and then proposals have been made. The most important thing is to continue to engage further and then make sure that the various recommendations or suggestions that have come up will be taken by both parties, and then they should implement them. As to whether we have to amend GIPC law, I don't think. I mean, if you look at under the tenets of economic diplomacy, you don't necessarily have to amend your country's law to favor a particular country. That is still discrimination. You are discriminating against other trading partners because there are other countries within ECOWAS, within Africa, and then even the globe that you are trading with. So if you amend your law specifically to favor one country, that is discrimination, and it's not compliant with the WTO law. So we need to be very careful about that. I know we enjoy special privileges, yes, under the WTO, where we call special and differential treatment because we are a developing country, so we enjoy certain level of protection. But still, we need to be very careful in order not to step on their toes. Trying to please one country, we might end up causing injury to other goods coming from other countries. So we need to be very careful on that.
All right,
but I think if it's called for amending the law, it has to be amended in a way that will favor all trading partners, all other trading countries. All right. That do business.
Okay, Ms. Arthur, so let me just chip this in. So there is an existing law, and it appears that it's difficult to get the Nigerians to adhere to the law, and that's why we've had this issue with closing up shops and all. Now, the Nigerians say, amend the laws. We want, you to help us in that regard. Now, Guta says, we don't want you to amend the law. So what do we do now?
You see, for what the conversation that we need to have, for me, is amending the law could be one option, but for me, as to whether it is the right option in terms of remaining compliant to most, regional and continental or even multilateral agreement we have signed, is another issue we need to look into. But I think the idea of setting up the Nigeria-Ghana Business Council is a very great one, because in other jurisdictions, one of the ways to resolve trade impasse, between countries has been by setting up this business council, which addresses most of these political economy issues. So let's look more into that. By if you take the step of amending the law to favor just one country, because let's also take note. We are not only trading with Nigerians. Nigerians, I understand, Nigeria is one of Ghana's major trading partners, even in Africa. Okay, so I understand the speciality, that we want to attach to dealing with them. But I think that let's use other means, because the law is a law, and the law stands for everybody. There are Ivorian business people in Ghana, there are Togolese business people in Ghana, there are Burkinabe business people in Ghana. There are so many other countries that are in Ghana and who are doing business. So why are we not having problems with other nationals and we're having problems with Nigerians? We need to be careful. I understand we have to tread cautiously. We have to, make sure that we come up with a solution that favors our trade relationship with Nigeria. But let's also be mindful of others.
Okay.
Okay. So the Business Council is a great idea where the two countries come together to come up with clear guidelines, clear, rules, what are the specific objectives that will favor both countries, and then they can then begin to resolve some of these issues.
Oh, thank you very much for your time this morning. Isaac Hubert Arthur is Executive Director for the African Center for International Trade, and we've been talking about the latest development in the Ghana-Nigeria retail trade impasse. If you're not aware, the President and the Speaker of House of Representatives in Nigeria met to discuss the way forward.